Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John, and thank you so much for watching. And if you like this kind of content, then consider leaving a like, subscribing, a comment, or a recommendation. 45 years ago, 1979, you kind of thought you knew where music was going, really. Post-punk, lots of things happening. Then this guy came along. And I want to show some footage from 1979. And then at the end, I want to show an incredible, incredible remake of this song. Our Friends Electric. Okay, so this, actually in 1979, the band were called Tubeway Army. And the frontman and the lyricist, songwriter, is Gary Numan. Originally Gary Webb, he's an English musician, he was born in London. And he kind of appeared with this sort of futuristic alien look. A futuristic kind of almost alien music. And this huge electronic sound that drives through those songs. It was a revelation. And I just can't explain how almost game-changing it was.
Now the light fades out. And I wonder what I'm doing in a room like this. There's a knock on the door. And just for a second I thought I remembered you. So now I'm alone, now I can think for myself about little deals and issues, things that I just don't understand. I could white light at night, so it's like touch at times. I don't think I mean anything to you.
Now, at the time, this song, Our Friends, and Friends is in inverted commas, Our Friends Electric. Gary Numan is reported, or has said, that he'd been reading a lot of science fiction. He was writing science fiction at the time. And the lyrics of this song are what he describes as a future where there are electronic prostitutes who look like humans, so nobody knows. And they come to your house delivering services, shall we say. And they wear these long grey coats, so nobody can recognize them. And that's what the song is about.
It's the friend
This actually is quite rare footage that I found on YouTube. I don't even think it was broadcast. And in some ways it's quite unusual because you can see that he kind of almost smiles during the performance. Obviously it's dubbed or lip synced. It's not him singing live. But he kind of smiles sometimes, which is unusual because normally his performances, he was extremely kind of straight-faced, no emotion almost, with giving that sort of like alien impression. And the lighting and the outfits and the kind of white makeup was always to create this sort of other world type feel. He was incredibly successful, incredibly quickly. And he kind of fell from grace almost as quickly. He was derided in the press. He had lots of debts. He had lots of problems himself. And I think the way he was treated by the press was really quite distasteful at the time, after he'd been such a great artist and adored by many. And in clubs, when they played Gary Numan, people just went wild on the dance floors. It was just, everybody did. But I think overall he was kind of exonerated, I guess, if that's the phrase. And he came back into fashion. He married one of his superfans. We'll come back to that in a second. But I want to show a live performance that he did more recently with an orchestra. So I wanted to play a snippet of that. But I'm also going to show another version, which I just think is, I don't know, I think when you can reimagine an old song, it shows that the song, and it still resonates with people, it shows that the song has power. And I don't know, Gary Numan is an incredibly talented musician. And he's written a couple of books now, autobiographies. He's also a pilot, which he started when he was young. He was in the air traffic corps. And this was a thing in the UK where you would join one of the kind of armed services as a teenager and go on camps and various things like that, and just do that during school holidays and various things. But this is a remake of the song, a reimagining with, it's called the All Saints Basement Sessions. And this to me is just unbelievable.
It's cold outside, and the paint's peeling up on my walls. There's a man outside in a long cold grid, smoking a cigarette. See you. So now I'm alone, now I can think for myself, without little deals and disuse, and things that I just don't understand. Like a white light at night, or a slight touch at times. And I don't think it meant anything to you.
Okay, the links to all these videos are in the description, and I'll be honest, I debated whether or not to show more of the All Saints version or show that up front rather than the original 1979, but I think for people who don't know Gary Numan or don't know where this song originally came from, I wanted to give it that context of a song from 45 years ago by what was then called Tubeway Army. It was released as a single, a picture disc originally. And then Gary Numan, who emerged from that band as the solo artist, really, and then went on to produce even more great music. The dip in his career, as we talked about, marrying his fan, Gemma O'Neill, and then being decried in the press and the terrible things that happened to him, but then re-emerging as really a great, great artist. And his music, I think, being recognised for how great it was and is, and how he really was one of the pioneers of that sort of electronic synth pop era. A great track. And he's got so many great tracks. Just wonderful. Gary Numan, our friends, in inverted commas, Electric. Thank you so much for watching.